Welcome to the second game of the season for the Highland Bulldogs JV team. Highland playing Columbia North tonight. Columbia North is coming off a 9-0 win in their first game, so it's going to be a tough nut to crack tonight. Highland's coming off a 5-4 loss to Alton. They played a very good game, very competitive game against Alton. We're getting ready for the puck drop here soon. They've sounded the horn, so the players are gathering the pucks, and we'll get ready for the puck. Columbia has two JV teams, north and south. It has nothing to do with geography. This is the better Columbia team. If you look at their roster, they're all freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. The other team is all 7th, 8th graders and freshmen. So they divide up the freshmen, and then they got all the older kids on this team. So at least that's what I could tell from looking online. Now, I think last year, Columbia North was actually the younger team, but it looks like this year maybe Columbia North is the older kids. We'll see when the game starts, I guess. But Highland played very well in their first game. They had a chance to win that game. I think one player from Malton scored 4 of the 5 goals. Otherwise, Highland did pretty much outplayed them. Highland had a pretty balanced attack, 4 different scorers. Lucas Fry made his debut in net. Tonight we're going to have Evan Drennan in net. And I'll tell you, from what I've seen of practice, Evan looks very sharp this year. More athletic, quicker side to side, fighting for rebounds. He's looked great in practice, so hopefully that carries over to this game. Highland's going to be shorthanded, I think. A couple kids on the DC trip. Tyson Hoyt, I do not believe, is here tonight. And Cooper Hicks is still hurt, but he was on the ice for practice Tuesday, so I think Cooper is getting close to being back, and will definitely benefit the Highland defense when he returns. So we got Abendroth, Weiss, and Ammon to start on the forwards, and looks like McGrew and Aravik out there for defense. McGrew gets it up to Abendroth. Abendroth loses it to Columbia. Columbia passing in their own zone. Highland going in on the forecheck. Columbia clears. Ammon battling in the neutral zone. Columbia has to retreat. Abendroth in, pressuring the puck, and that's going to force an icing. Columbia tried to dump it down, and it went all the way down for icing, so be an offensive zone face-off for the Bulldogs. 34 seconds into the game. Highland goes for a line change. They got Hazelhorse, Renko, and Bogaki. Tolley and Aravik on defense. I do not think Highland has many defensemen tonight. Cruz Wernley and Gavin Schmidt are on that 8th grade DC trip. Cooper Hicks is still injured, so Highland's down 3 defensemen. We might be seeing a lot of the guys we have. Cole Renko, nice play to clear the zone. Aravik drops back on D. Tolley pressures the puck. Brennan handles behind his own net. Aravik hit behind the net. Columbia had a good centering chance there, but Highland breaks it up. Bogaki clears the zone temporarily back in, and now he's got it to Hazelhorse. Hazelhorse stumps it in deep. Renko and Hazelhorse giving chase. I think I've got my tripod a little better situated tonight, so hopefully the camera works a little better. Mark Ammon back on the ice. He's out there with Weiss, and that might be Fisher out there. That is Fisher. Fisher battling along the boards. Puck goes to Weiss. Can't get a shot off. Columbia with the puck now. Columbia skating down the ice. McGrew, nice hit. Bodies his man at the blue line. Takes the puck. McGrew behind the net. McGrew seemed like a little bit of a high hit. It wasn't a real vicious hit, but I thought McGrew might have taken a little bit of a forearm to the head there, but no call. Hammond dumps it in, pitcher chases. McGrew tries to backhand it. Columbia takes control. Columbia dumps it in deep. McGrew in a board battle behind the net. Ties up his man, but the third player there is the Columbia forward, so Columbia takes possession. Columbia skating in, shot, saves Drennan. Nice pad save there by Evan Drennan. Abendroth gets the puck. He's going to skate with it. Dumps it in right to Bogacki. Bogacki knocked off the puck, though. Pretty good play there in the neutral zone, but Bogacki was knocked down before he could get a shot off. Just good defense there for Columbia. Highland up to Abendroth. He's going to get it out. Tried to find Bogacki. Hit a Columbia player, but goes in deep. No icing there as it was off Columbia. Abendroth to the bench. We've got Ammon back on the ice. Ammon breaks it up. Aravik loses it in the neutral zone. Ammon plays it into the Columbia zone, but Columbia controls. Columbia trying to skate in. Good stick work. Brennan's going to bat that aside with the stick before Columbia could get a shot off. Highland clears the zone, but Columbia controls the puck. Columbia dumps it in. It's on the stick of Deacon Aravik, who, nice pass up to Patton Weiss. He's going to get down to, he did not negate icing. Patton almost beat that to negate the icing call, but it will be icing on the Bulldogs. Some exciting new rule changes from what I understand. I was complaining in the last game about the lack of tag up offsides, but I hear you actually are allowed to tag up. So if you're coming out of the zone and the puck is shot in, it is not immediately blown dead. You do get a chance to get out of the zone while the play can continue. It's only having an hour of ice time that should speed things up a little bit. I believe you're also allowed this year to ice the puck on the penalty kill. So Columbia trying to shoot, fans on it. Marenko battling along the board, takes a hit. Foley behind the net now. Columbia controls. Foley still battling. Marenko with it, plays it up the boards. Shot made by Drennan. McGrew tried to knock that down with a stick, but I think it got through to Drennan. Columbia pass a little too hot to handle. Marenko chases. Columbia throws it in front. Ammon's going to give chase. That puck was deflected. Ammon a pass. Pass was behind Weiss. He didn't have much of an angle to do anything else, but Weiss wasn't able to do much with it. Columbia's shooting save Brennan. Love save. Might have gone high anyway, but nice save by Evan Brennan. Scoreboard shows 3 shots for the Eagles, none for Highland. 6:53 left in the first period, no score. Got Hazelhorse, McGrew, Abendroth, Ammon, and I believe that's Deacon Aravik out there. That is Deacon. McGrew battling behind the net. Columbia circling. Throws it off of Hazelhorse's skate. Columbia gets it back. Nice move by the Columbia player, but he lost his puck. McGrew backhands it out of the zone. Nice play by Connell. Hazelhorse and Abendroth giving chase. Abendroth got the puck and did get it on net, but not much on that one. Good play by Hazelhorse and Abendroth, though, winning a board battle and getting the puck to the center. A couple Eagle players in the vicinity. Probably is Highland's first shot on goal. I haven't put it on the board, but I believe that was a shot on goal. Bogacki in front had Patton Weiss, but he couldn't get the shot off. Patton Trying to get the puck now, cleared to Aravik at center ice. Aravik controls. Highland gets back onside. Fisher chasing it. Columbia plays it up the boards. Deacon keeps it in at the blue line. Fisher chasing again. Patton now helping Fisher. Columbia player dumps it down the ice. It's going to be icing. Another offensive zone face-off for the Bulldogs. .5:43 left in the first period. Hazelhorse, Hammond, and Rinko with McKendree and Tolley. Hazelhorse loses the draw, but Rinko, nice battle there to keep it in. Puck to Hazelhorse, he shoots. Nice save by the Columbia goaltender. Tolley along the boards, keeps it in. Hammond is chasing Rinko now. Rinko tries to center it. Doesn't make it through. McKendree gives way to Tolley. Tolley had it in its skates and now heads out of the Highland zone. Columbia skating in. McKendree pressuring the puck. Columbia, nice pass to the point. Deflected in front. Brennan made the save. The second shot goes wide. Brennan scrambling. He's back in his net now, though. It's a dangerous deflection in front, but nothing came of it. Columbia still at the puck. Trying to center backdoor. Brennan in good position. He's going to cover that. Possible the shots aren't working on the Highland side. It really shows 5 shots and it's blank on the Highland side. But Hazelhorse definitely had a shot on goal. I thought Abendroth did too. So got at least, I'd say at least 2 shots, but definitely in favor of the Eagles right now. Columbia centers. Shot, goal. Wrist shot from right in front of the net. Or right between the face-off dots, really. Good wrist shot. Beat Brennan on the, to his left side. Highland wearing their red jerseys with the H across chest. I think Highland is the road team. Not that it matters. Bogacki skating in. Tries to center it. Nobody there. Abendroth is on the near post and Weiss is on the far post. They kind of split them. Ravik skates it out. Tries to dump it in. Columbia regains control. Ravik under some pressure, gets it out of the zone though. Abendroth goes for a change. Ammon comes on. Got Bogacki, Weiss, and Ammon for the Highland forward group. McKendree battles in the corner. Aravik with the puck behind the net. Aravik shoots it down the ice. That's probably going to be icing. That is icing. And Mark Ammon, Cole Rinko, and Maddox Hazelhorse are the forwards here. Joined by Tolley and Ravik. Mark Ammon coming off a goal in the first game and election to the homecoming court. I believe he was the only Highland hockey player elected to the homecoming court. I think these guys are well liked. They're just not very good looking. but I guess Mark was the exception. Hammond tries to shoot it on, and that goes just high. That was a dangerous shot. Good shot by Mark Hammond. Totally plays it back around the boards. Hazelhorse with it behind the net to Ammon. Ammon gets shoved into the boards. It's a bit of a forearm there. Columbia with a 2-on-1 centered it, but the shot goes wide. He didn't have much on the shot anyway. I think Evan Brennan would have been up to the task. Hazelhorse takes a hit, but clears his own. Ammon pressuring. Rinko goes for a line change. Several Highland players going for a line change. Shot, oh, I think that hit the stick of Evan Brennan. That was a dangerous shot from a sharp angle. Fisher chasing. Coley with a big hit, knocking down a Columbia player at the blue line. McGrew plays it to Coley. Highland defenders are getting a lot of ice time tonight. As I said, I believe we're missing at least 3 defensemen. So we're seeing a lot of McGrew, Coley, and Aravik. That might be our only 3 defensemen. Columbia dumps it down, and that is going to be icing. 1 minute and 36 seconds left in the first period. Pretty good first period. It's a good Columbia team. Highland's holding their own, but you'd like to see a little more offensive pressure. Weiss is going to take this face off. Wins it back to Tolley. Tolley plays it along the boards. Fisher doesn't know where it is. Fisher finds it, throws it in front. And the goalie's going to cover it up. That didn't make its way through to Weiss. He was in a good position if it got to him. That was still a dangerous play from Fisher. That could have bounced in. The goalie definitely deflected off the goalie, but he was able to cover. A good recovery there by Fisher. He didn't see the puck as well. He didn't see the puck at first, but got to it and shot it in front, and it deflected on. McGrew throws it on net. Weiss with the puck now. Weiss got it to Bogaki, who nearly scored. Aravik with it. Aravik tries to dump it in, but Columbia intercepts. Columbia's got numbers. McGrew back. Brennan comes out of his net and breaks up the play. A nice play by Evan Brennan, but Columbia still controls. Abendroth pressuring the puck. Nice shot by the Columbia player, but that goes wide. Abendroth did a good job of tying him up, but he couldn't get away, but he finally got enough room to get a shot off, and it was a dangerous shot. Highland leading a line change here after the icing, but I believe those offsides. I forgot what happened. Definitely wasn't icing. 1-0 Columbia. 37 seconds left in the first period. Hazelhorse, Abendroth, and Rinko out there with Tolley and Ravik. A little bit of a dangerous pass there, but Tolley clears his own, and it goes down there. They're going to wave off icing. Hazelhorse and Abendroth behind the net. Rinko there too. Abendroth goes to the front now. We had 3 guys in the same spot. Pass goes off of Ravik's stick and out of the zone. Ravik hustling back, breaks it up. Nice play by Deacon. Good recovery there. And that is going to be the end of the first period. 1-0 Columbia after 1. Scoreboard shows 7 shots for Columbia. It does not show the Highland shots. I think it may be burnt out light bulb. Or they don't care how many shots we have. I don't know. As the home team, Columbia is manning the announcer's booth. I think I think the scoreboard, I don't know if that's done by the home team or by the MVCHA. Pretty clean first period, no penalties. Only a couple hits that even could have been considered for a penalty. Coach Hicks talking to the team over there. Looked like CJ was talking at the beginning of the intermission break, and like we're going to have Ammon, Weiss, and Rinko to start the period with Tolley and Ravick. There's nothing going on when we got here. This rink was empty before the game. Kind of surprised, but it looks like there are some teams warming up, so I guess there's a game following us. I was able to, well, I'll tell my story in a bit. Highland passes centers. Oh, the Columbia goalie. Highland didn't get much of a shot there, but it nearly went in. The Columbia goalie kind of fell down, lost his balance, and was able to stick his leg out to kind of corral the puck. Rinko, I think, almost scored there. Weiss, Salmon, Rinko, Tolley, and Arabic, the same line that started the period. 28 seconds in. Weiss loses the draw. Columbia controls behind the net. Columbia, nice pass. Columbia skating in, 2-on-2. Rinko pressuring the puck along the boards. Ammon nearly had it. Columbia still controls. Ammon, I think, had a stick on that. Highland tried to center up the middle, or clear up the middle, went off of Weiss's stick, and Columbia still maintains control. Columbia with the puck behind the goal, and they score. Really nice goal by Columbia there. Highland had a couple chances to potentially clear that, and just kind of bounced off their stick, and the puck ended up in the corner, and a really nice tic-tac-toe play there. Just threw it in front. One-timer, tapped it by Drennan. That was a good goal. The player in the corner for Columbia made a great play on the assist. As I was saying, I was able to save $5 by getting here early. It pays to arrive on time. I was walking some laps in the upper deck, and no one was collecting admission yet, and I feel as a member of the press I should get free admission anyway, but there was no one to pay, so I didn't pay. Highland's going to go on the power play here. Highland player got knocked down right off the faceoff, and they are sending the Columbia player to the box, maybe for roughing. We'll see what they announce, if they announce it. Tolley throws one on. It's knocked down by a high stick. I think this is going to be another face-off in the Highland zone. Got Avendroth, Hazelhorse, and Bogaki with McGrew and Tolley. Highland rather shorthanded tonight, as I said. I think I only count 5 players on the bench, along with Lucas Fry. Tolley tries to throw it on. Avendroth with it in the corner. Tries to send it for Hazelhorse, but it's intercepted. Columbia shoots down. That's on net. My understanding is that would not have been icing this year. I think there is no icing on the power play at the JV level this year. Brennan had to play it anyway. Hazelhorse battling in the neutral zone. Highland gets it in, but Columbia controls. Columbia shoots down again. No icing. Tolley with the puck. Tolley still with the puck, skating ahead to Bogaki, kicks it into the zone. Bogaki trying to go to the net. Highland changing. Ammon comes on for Avendroth. Tolley heading to the bench. Moravik takes Tolley's place. And Highland tries to clear. Columbia stole it to the blue line, but then lost the puck. Hazelhorse plays it in deep. Deacon Moravik pinching in. Mark Ammon doing a good job covering the point. Ammon skating back. He's going to try to play it cross ice to McGrew. And Columbia dumps it down again. It's going to be played by Drennan behind his own net. Drennan up to McGrew. McGrew looking to Weiss. Doesn't quite get there. Columbia intercepts. A bit of pretty uneventful power play for the Bulldogs. 14 seconds left on the power play. McGrew plays it up the boards, but we don't have anybody there. Fisher battling, and they do get it out of the zone, but really having to battle to get it out of our own zone on our own power play here. Weiss gains the blue line, dumps it in deep. This is a good Columbia team. They won their first game 9-0, so Highland holding their own, but not much offense. Columbia tried to wrap around. Brennan was not fooled in the least. Columbia still with the puck behind their net. McGrew battling. Ammon backhands it up. Highland's got, it's a couple times Highland's got the puck, but we have nobody, no forward up high to get a breakout pass to. So we're just dumping it up to the blue line, and Columbia intercepts. Those forwards are getting sucked down low to try to help break up the plays in the corner, but then they have nobody to pass to because that's where they're supposed to be. Columbia controls the top of the zone. Shot wide was deflected. Point, pass out to the point. Might have been deflected by Abendroth, but I think it was just an errant pass left the zone. Columbia back in. Shot off Drennan. Moravik was back, but they got a good shot off. Drennan made a nice save. Tolley giving chase. Abendroth pressuring the puck. And that's going to be an icing call on Columbia. You pressure that puck, you get these passes rushed, and that's when even a good team like Columbia is going to ice the puck. Highland needs another player on the ice. And Rinko's going to come over the boards. Shot by Ammon, deflected wide. Hazelhorse banging away. The puck's loose in front. Tolley in a foot race. He's going to keep it in the zone. Gets it to Ammon, who tries to one-timer on net, but it goes wide. Rinko centering, nice centering pass by Rinko on Hazelhorse's tape. Hazelhorse tried to get it to Tolley. Loose puck, Highland still controls. Shot wide, Hazelhorse battling behind the net. Moravik at the blue line now. And Beth Tolley, what a job to keep it in, but now Columbia controls. Columbia with speed heading into the offensive zone. Shot just wide. Drennan got a pad on that. Drennan just barely got his pad on that. I don't know if it would have gone in or not, but nice save by Evan. That puck does not come out, and nice centering pass by Columbia for a shot on goal, but Drennan makes the save. Highland's going to send out Weiss, Abendroth, and Ammon. Looks like it'll be McGrew and Tolley on defense. 6:17 left in the third period. Columbia up 2-0. Scoreboard shows the shots are 11-3 in favor of Columbia. Abendroth skating now. Abendroth bringing it in, throws it in deep. Ammon's going to forecheck. Abendroth on the forecheck. Puck comes off the boards. Columbia player makes a nice move on McGrew. Skates down the ice, shot Drennan makes a save. The puck's loose. McGrew's there. Gets the puck up, but not out. Columbia still controls. Shot deflected off Tolley, I believe. Puck comes to center ice. Abendroth gets it out, but Columbia still controls, and Columbia back in offsides. That was number 19 for Columbia, was very nearly out of the zone, and that would have been a dangerous scoring chance had that play been onside. Columbia wins the face-off, but Weiss steals the puck at center ice. Weiss had the puck on his skates, unable to control. Columbia dumps it back down. McGrew is going to play the puck. He's got two Columbia players on him. Dumps it up. Abendroth can't get it out. Weiss out there with Fisher and Abendroth. Shot from a bad angle. Evan makes a save and covers the rebound. Good play by Drennan there. I think that it wasn't a real hard shot, but I think the Columbia player may have seen an opening there and tried to thread the needle, but Drennan makes a save and alertly jumps on the rebound. Shot on, save Drennan. Ravik behind the net, battling. Fisher skating along the boards. Bogacki gave chase. Ravik now on the man behind the net. Columbia still controls. Columbia dumps it around. Fisher with the puck on his stick now. Tries to get it to Bogacki, but it's intercepted. Shot, nice glove save by Drennan. Got a glove on that, but was not able to catch it, so still in the zone. Shot well wide. Hazelhorse now with Bogacki and Fisher. Plays it up the center, and that's stolen. Pass through the middle was deflected, and the back door is wide open, and Columbia had a player there, but he wasn't able to. I think the puck was bouncing on him. He wasn't able to get a stick on it. A lot of pressure here from Columbia. Highland has not cleared the zone in quite a while. That one went off Bogacki's skate. Highland needs a clear and a line change. Renko dumps it up. Ravik skating in. Ravik with speed. Ravik in front. Bogacki shot on. Nice save by the Columbia goaltender. Highland was really hemmed in their zone there, so nice to clear it at least. Ravik with puck behind his own net. He's got Tolley with him on defense. Deacon loses the puck behind his net. Oh, they're going to call Gus Tolley for a cross check. I don't know about that. I mean, the puck was there. It definitely wasn't interference. I mean, he signaled cross check, but that looked like a pretty clean hit in front of the net. You're supposed to protect the front of your net. But we will get the first Columbia power play. Highland was having trouble clearing their zone with 5 players, so Hazelhorse, Weiss, Bogacki, and Ammon are out there. Weiss takes the face off. Columbia controls. Shot on. Drennan save. Ammon behind his net. They're going to call another penalty, and this one's on Columbia. I think they called a hook, so I guess we'll even things up. Maybe a makeup call. I think they said Mark Ammon got hooked behind the net, so we'll take it. He might have. A minute 48 remaining on the Highland penalty to Gus Tolley. Highland will get a 12-second power play when this penalty expires. Highland wins the draw. Ammon throws it on net, goes wide. Oravik. Nice play by Oravik. Had his stick caught up in a Columbia player there briefly, but I wouldn't call it hooking. Bogacki skating in now. Bogacki with speed behind his net, tries to center it to Hazelhorst, but two Columbia players there. Hazelhorst does gain control of the puck. Hazelhorst battling, trying some stick lifts. Got his body on the Columbia player. Columbia still controls. Neither team has a lot of subs tonight, so maybe they have a DC trip too. Although I don't believe there are any 8th graders on this Columbia roster, so who knows. Mark Ammon gets pushed into the boards after winning the puck. Weiss with a nice stick, keep it in the zone. Hazelhorst dumps it in deep and goes for a change. Oravik goes for a change. We got McGrew out there. I think Fisher came on for Hazelhorst. Pass across the center of the ice. Columbia can't handle it. Fisher with the puck now. He's going to look to Patton Weiss. Patton stick handling in the neutral zone. Plays it in deep. Chases after it. 12 seconds left on the Highland penalty to Gus Tolley. Ammon at the point to McGrew. McGrew throws it on. And Connor Fisher very nearly got a goal there. McGrew threw it on net. That rebound was right there. Fisher played it to his backhand and got it on net in a diving play by the Columbia goalie to keep it out. Highland back to full strength now. Gus Tolley has made his way from the penalty box to the ice. Highland will have a very brief power play here. Offensive zone face-off, controlled by Columbia. Columbia has won a lot of face-offs tonight. Bogacki with the puck now, throws it in front. Too hot to handle it. It was for Fisher, but it was at his thigh. Ref had his hands up, but that was just for a delayed offsides. Highland dumps it in, no icing. Foley in on the forecheck. Bogacki. This is going to be trouble. 3-on-1 for Columbia. Foley got caught in deep. Shot, save, rebound, save. The puck's still loose. McGrew, nice play to clear it down the ice. Columbia goalie comes out and plays it, negating icing. I don't think it would have gone all the way down anyway. And now Columbia ices the puck. And McGrew goes and gives his goalie a hug. Nothing McGrew could do there. He was caught as a 1 on a 3-on-1. Gus Tolley at 10-10 on the offensive zone, and Columbia got the puck out and got numbers the other way. And Columbia got a first shot on and got a second shot on the rebound, and two good saves by Evan Brennan. Abendroth behind the net. Ties up the Columbia player. Hazelhorst skating. Hazelhorst shoots. Saved by Columbia. Hazelhorst, Abendroth, and Rinko all battling behind the net. It's going to be another icing on Columbia. And several times we've seen Columbia just dump the puck down the ice for no real reason. He wasn't under any pressure. Shots 18-10 according to the scoreboard in favor of the Eagles. Score is 2-0. Highland's had some chances here. Definitely Columbia's had the better of the chances. Got Abendroth, Rinko, and Hazelhorst. And that is the end of the second period. Highland won the draw, but there wasn't enough time to do anything. Abendroth sort of threw it on net, but time had to run out anyway. I believe we have a celebrity in the viewing audience tonight. Looks like Luke Gunter may have joined us. Luke was the Bulldogs' leading scorer last year. Probably be winning 3-2 if Luke was playing. Been joined in the booth now by my wife, Maggie Evandross, who is sporting a Highland Bulldogs hockey blanket. Sold as a fundraiser this year, and heck, if you want one, supplies might remain. I'm not sure. Off the face-off, Haddon Weiss breaks in, gets a shot on goal, glove save, but he did not catch it. And Cole Rinko nearly scored on the rebound. Shot the other way. Columbia shoots high. Highland had a great chance there off the faceoff. Avendroth, Rinko, and Weiss. Weiss can't get it out. Rinko overskates it. Ammon with the puck behind the net. I think Mark Ammon is playing defense. I've never seen Mark play defense before. But we had only 3 defensemen to start this game, so not surprising they moved someone back to D. And I'd say Mark has done a good job on defense. He started the game on offense, but with only 3D, we probably need a little bit more of a break. Columbia plays it in deep. Columbia centering, and that pass was mishandled in front, which is good, because that was going to be a glorious chance. Columbia still with the puck. Centers again. Brennan got a piece of that, and it deflected wide. McGrew tries to play it up to Bogacki. Columbia intercepts. Another dangerous centering pass. Columbia's had several of those. They scored their first goal was on a similar play. And actually the second goal wasn't all that different. Highland not controlling the front of the net as well as you would like. But this is a very good Columbia team. They won their first game 9-0, so that was against Pasalto, I believe. Columbia stick handles in front, backhander, maybe off Arabic, and I think they're signaling it was played by a high stick. It looks like they're bringing the faceoff down to the Highland zone. I'll be honest, I thought the high stick was Evan Drinnan's, but I would never question the referee, so he certainly must have seen something I didn't. He was certainly closer. Hazelhorse taking the face off. Almost got a shot off, but Columbia now controls. McGrew dumped it back in. Bogacki trying to hold the blue line. Columbia breaks out, skates in. McGrew and Arabic on D for the Bulldogs. Highland defensemen have played very well tonight. We're missing Gavin Schmidt, Cruz Wernley, and Cooper Hicks. Missing 3 good defensemen. The remaining defensemen have really stepped up. Highland's going to ice it. I've also not seen Resman tonight. I might have an Ice Hawks game, or not sure where Mr. Resman is, but Highland's missing 5 or 6 key players tonight against a very good team. Weiss wins it back to Aravik. Ammon battles on the boards. Looks like Ammon's back at forward. He's the Swiss Army knife tonight, playing, tell you what, this guy scores goals. He's elected to the homecoming court. He plays offense. He plays defense. He skates in. He shoots. Glove saved by Columbia. They credited us with a shot on goal there. I think it was going wide, but soon we're going to need an actual goal, not just a shot on goal. Tolley dumps it in deep. Ammon keeps it in along the boards. Ammon in a board battle. Tolley comes up to help. And somehow they flipped that puck through Tolley and Ammon. They were in good position, but nice job clearing by Columbia. Puck goes down. Columbia controls. Weiss, Ammon, and Rinko forward checking. Tolley pinching in, causes a turnover, kicks it to Rinko. Rinko just got laid out, but he did keep the puck in, and Highland got a shot off. Rinko is not a big fella. He's only a 7th grader. He'll grow, but he took a big hit there. Columbia skating in. Deacon Aravik, the only defenseman back, and Evan Brennan makes the save. Adjusted the camera a little bit. Hopefully it'll give you a little better vantage point here. As I mentioned in the first game, Wally has moved up to the Varsity announcer role, and this is a more JV level broadcast than you got last year. Abendroth knocked down along the boards, battling with McGrew. They get the puck back to Tolley. Tolley chips it ahead to Fisher. Fisher tries to play it to Hazelhorst. He's going to turn it over, though. Puck shot wide. Back on Tolley's stick. Tolley has his man tied up behind the net, but can't get the puck. Hazelhorst tries to help. Columbia still controls. Throws in front. Hazelhorst with the puck. Hazelhorst has played a strong game tonight. Tolley and Abendroth along the boards, but Columbia plays it in behind the net. Hazelhorst takes his man in, controls the puck. Gets it up to Abendroth. Abendroth can't get it out. Columbia throws it on, goes just wide. Evan Drennan sliding all over his crease here. He's finally going to cover. Highland had several chances to clear. Fisher had a pass behind his intended target. Abendroth got a pass at the blue line and couldn't handle it. And that extended shift led to a lot of pressure for Columbia, but the Highland forwards and defensemen did keep battling and were able to tie up Columbia enough, and Evan Drennan made the saves when he had to and finally covered it. Weiss plays it to Ammon. Ammon tries to chip it out, doesn't get out. Weiss takes a forearm to the back, and they're going to call that. Looks like Highland is going to go to the power play. 6:58 remaining in the game. Shots 20-13 in favor of the Eagles. This has not been a lopsided game. Columbia has outplayed Highland, but Highland is holding in there for being as shorthanded as they are. To be fair, I only see about 4 extra players on the Columbia bench, so they might be shorthanded too. Shot by Aravik is deflected in front. Highland won the face-off. Aravik got a shot off, but it didn't make it through. McGrew's going to try to keep the puck in the zone. He battles his man. Puck goes to center ice. One-on-one with Aravik. Shot. Evan Drennan makes the save. Evan wanted to play that to McGrew out of his glove, but he held it too long and it was called for a face-off, so Highland on the power play. They've got Rinko, Weiss, and Ammon as forwards. Tolley and Aravik on D. Weiss plays it up. Rinko gives chase. Columbia controls. Columbia tries to dump it down. Bad break there as the Columbia player tried to play it with a high stick but missed it. I believe that would have been an offensive zone faceoff for us. Horse dumps it in deep. Bogaki's giving chase. Bogaki should beat everybody to the puck here. He does, but then he gets hit behind the net. Fisher's there to help. Aravik with the puck. Aravik shot. It's deflected. A lot of blocked shots tonight. Now Columbia's breaking in. Gus Pulley's back. Good stick by Gus. Oh. And they're going to call Gus for another penalty. Seems like I might be biased, but Gus looks confused by this call. So we'll play 4 aside. Horse, Ammon, Weiss, and Aravik. Columbia wins another faceoff, throws it on. I think if we were tracking stats for faceoffs tonight, Columbia would have won a lot of them. Even if we're not tracking, they've still won a lot of them, but I can't tell you the numbers. Number 55, I called Tolley for roughing there. I think if Tolley was smaller, that would not have been a rough. Ammon battling behind the boards. Horse plays it back to him. Aravik man's in front of the net. Ammon plays it up, but hits a Columbia player, and Columbia controls. Columbia shot, traffic in front, but good glove save by Evan Drennan. It was towards the center of the goal, probably a routine save, but with the traffic in front, it's never as easy as it looks. We'll be playing 4 aside for another 20 seconds here, then Columbia will have about a minute-long power play. Columbia tries a shot on a sharp angle, another save by Drennan. Columbia wins another faceoff, plays it in. Bogaki battles behind the net. Ammon gives chase. Ammon's going to try to play it up to Bogaki, who runs into Rinko. Columbia controls. Columbia still with the puck. Aravik had a stick on it, but 2 Columbia players there. Nice pad save by Evan Drennan. Highland is now shorthanded as the Columbia penalty has expired. Aravik battling at the blue line. A nice play by Bogaki in the neutral zone. Highland's going to dump it down, no icing on the power play, or on the penalty kill. Columbia skates in, 3-on-2. McGrew almost broke it up. Columbia did get a shot off. Good save, Evan Drennan. Drennan's been peppered with shots late in this game, but has stood tall. Weiss hit the puck behind the net. Weiss plays it up. Fisher not able to get to it. It didn't make it to Fisher. Tolley's out of the box now, so we're back to 5 aside. The penalty expired right as that shot went on net. 3:51 left in the game. The Eagles lead 2-0. They're out shooting the Bulldogs 26-14. Not a bad effort for the Bulldogs tonight, but not much offense. They had a few good chances, but Weiss wins it back. Totally tried to play it to McKendree, but it was too far ahead of him, I believe. McKendree with the puck now. He's going to break out of the zone. Tries to pass it to Benson. Off Benson's skates. Benson's going to have to get back on sides here. Fisher gets back on sides as well. Play is onside. Fisher skates in, but Columbia beats him to the puck. Columbia skating down. Highland has numbers back. Good play by Tolley there. Gets a stick on a shot. Two Highland players run into each other. I think that was Weiss and Bogaki. They both went down. But Connor Fisher with the puck, leaving the zone now. Plays it into the Columbia zone, but Columbia controls. Nice play along the boards by Weiss, getting the puck, playing it in deep. No icing. He was well on our side of the center red line. Abendroth on the ice now. And now we're going to get a 2-on-0 for Columbia. Rinko skating back. They shoot and score, a little forehand, backhand. Good hustle by the Highland forwards trying to get back there, but the Highland got caught pinched in their zone. And Rinko was the only player remotely close to being back. And basically it was a breakaway, but the Columbia even had a player there for the rebound, which there was no rebound. Nice forehand, backhand, as Darren Pang would say, like you read about. Deacon Aravik plays it in. There's wave off icing. Abendroth gives chase. Hazelhorse along the boards. Aravik intercepts at center ice. Aravik looking for somebody, and he's going to just keep it. Too much sticking lane there, though. He loses the puck. Goes to Gus Tolley, though. Gus Tolley shoots. That's off a shin of the Columbia player. Abendroth and Aravik battling along the boards. It's won by Columbia to neutral ice, but Tolley controls. Tolley passes it between Rinko and Abendroth. Columbia with the puck now. Columbia plays it in deep. They wave off icing. Evan Britton had to play it anyway. Hazelhorse is going to get the puck. Hazelhorse gets it out. Abendroth goes for a change. Hammond's on. We got Fisher on the ice. Aravik skating in. Our defense is getting pretty aggressive here, which we're trying to get some offense. Fisher with the puck shot. Arm save by the Columbia goalie. Hazelhorse trying to play it to Fisher, but the puck's intercepted. McKendree is back. And Highland, okay, they were going to call a delayed offsides there, but Highland plays it to center ice. Shot on by, saved by Drennan. 1 minute remaining in the game. 3-0 Eagles. And another goal for Columbia. Just too much pressure in front of the net. Drennan made a save, but we had nobody there for the rebound, and they just tapped it in. Highland's playing shorthanded and has been in their defensive zone much of the night, perhaps getting a little tired here, giving up 2 late third-period goals. Again, Columbia won their first game 9-0, so Highland held their own for most of the night, missing quite a few players. But Haddon Weiss skates in. He's going to shoot right in the breadbasket of the Columbia goaltender. My camera work is getting a little more cattywampus as this game goes on. Not sure what to do about that. Again, this is a JV effort. Weiss loses the face-off, play to neutral ice. McKendree plays it back in. Columbia controls. Fisher giving chase. Mark Hammond pressuring the puck. Columbia back up. Columbia skating in. Going behind the net. Circling. Columbia centering. Haddon Weiss, I think, broke that play up, and Evan Drennan jumps on it for a rebound before Columbia can get to the rebound. Columbia tried a centering pass there. I think Haddon Weiss got his stick on it, broke up the play. Foley's going to head to the bench now. He's replaced by Ravik, who McKendree stays out there on defense. Weiss, Salmon, and Rinko. Columbia tries to take a shot right off the faceoff. It goes wide. Columbia circling, stick handling. And Columbia still controls. 3 seconds left in the game. That is going to do it. Columbia wins this one 4-0. We'll be back in action tomorrow night. I believe Highland plays a Fallon from the RP Lumber Center. Highland drops to 0-2. They've played 2 decent games, but we'll try to see if they can get in the win column tomorrow. So that'll be it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.